What's going on, everyone? Josh Rzepka here, and welcome to another Mute Monday. It's been quite a while since the last video, but I'm back and at it, and today I am very excited to be sharing a brand new mute from my friends at Hirschman Mutes, the Hirschman Mutes Pro Edge Pixie, aka PEP mute. Now, this is not a sponsored video, but they did send me this mute so that I could try it out and make this video. They're currently taking pre-orders for this mute with delivery planned for mid-December. So before we dive into the close-up shots and the playing examples, let's hear a few notes real quick. Okay, so you just heard a few notes with this mute and how it works with a plunger, and I'll be taking this mute through all my usual examples in just a minute. But first, let me fill you in on all the important details. So the PEP mute is a Pixie mute, and that's not the most common mute out there, and many of you may have never even used one before. However, it's got a very specific use where it shines, and that is primarily being used in conjunction with a plunger mute. So the PEP mute was named in honor of the great Duke Ellington, who often harmonized two plunger Pixie muted trumpets and a trombone into what he called a PEP section. And if you want to hear what that sounds like, check out the classic Rockin' in Rhythm, and I'm going to link that in the description below. It's a swinging example that finishes with a wild solo in the stratosphere by Cat Anderson. So let's check this mute out up close. As you can see, this is a tall and narrow mute, and it fits very nicely in the bell. The mute is made from aluminum, and it is anodized in black. As you can see, the bottom of this mute is flat, so it stands very nicely on its own, and it's got the name stamped onto the bottom, which I think is a very nice touch. So my friend and incredible trumpeter Kenny Rampton sent this to me to check out, and he said that they spent over 2 years of R&D in making this mute. They tried aluminum, copper, different thicknesses of metal, really all kinds of combinations and designs to get this dialed in. I actually even had a chance to try an earlier prototype of this mute at the beginning of the year when Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra was in town. So I've actually been looking forward to the finished version of this mute for quite some time. Now, originally a small cornet mute was used for the Pixie mute, but they are rather difficult to play because they were designed for a different bell size and flare. So when you use one of those old Pixie mutes, the intonation is generally, it's pretty far off, the response isn't great, they're stuffy, and they have problems with all the notes speaking throughout the registers, especially in the lowest registers. Now, the PEP mute was designed specifically for the trumpet, and their goal was to create a new mute that plays in tune across the entire trumpet range, is free-blowing, and projects well, all while keeping an authentic Pixie mute sound, which is nasally with a little bit of a bite to the sound. Typically, when you're using a Pixie mute, you'll pair it with a plunger, such as the Hirschman Mutes KR Indigo Max, which I really enjoy using. This combination really gives so much character to the plunger work, and for historical accuracy, you're really going to want to use this combo on many occasions with early big band and swing music. All right, so let's hear how this mute sounds. I'm going to play it on its own as well as with a plunger, and I'm also going to play a few things with the plunger Pixie combo as well as with the open plunger without the Pixie mute, so you can hear how dramatic a difference this PEP mute makes with the plunger. Okay, so you've just heard this PEP Pixie Mute, and what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. So I've got to say I am digging this mute, and I really think they achieved their goals with creating a Pixie Mute that plays in tune, isn't stuffy, responds throughout the entire range of the horn, and projects with that characteristic Pixie sound. I've got a number of vintage and modern Pixie Mutes, and many of them have a lot of difficulty in the lower register. By that I mean, some of them can't reliably be played below a low C, but this PEP Mute is excellent all the way down to that low F sharp. Additionally, many of the old Pixie Mutes that I have are very stuffy, and this one feels real nice and open, and it really projects well. Also, I think it is great how the bottom of this mute is flat so that it doesn't tip over. That makes it very easy to grab for those quick mute changes. I also really dig the black finish that they gave this mute. I think it looks really sharp, and of course, it works perfectly with the KR Indigo plunger mute, which this has been my go-to plunger since it was released a few years ago. So again, a very big thank you to Hirschman Mutes and Kenny Rampton for sending me this mute to check out, and congratulations on knocking it out of the park once again. This is an excellent Pixie Mute, and in my opinion, I think that many trumpet players are really going to enjoy using this mute, and hopefully this will encourage a bit of a revival of that classic Pixie Mute plunger combo. That combo really sounds so good, and it allows you to add so much more nuance and character to your plunger playing. All right, that is all I've got for you today. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.